hearing, we will call the Economic Development Committee to order. Thank you all very much. First on the agenda, industrial development. No report, comments, or questions for the IDA. Being none, we will move to community resources. No report.
Anna's here.
If there are any questions, there are. Miss Anna Reynolds, come on down. Good morning.
This is where you going.
Okay. Good morning. As you know, we're through a transition phase right now. So I prepared the agenda. We have 3 239Ms. One came in late on Friday, so I wasn't able to update the agenda. They're all from the town of Essex. The first one is for an addition and renovation located at 44 Farm Way. There's no impact to county property, and so a letter of no comment is recommended. The third, sorry.
You want to do this individually?
No, let's do them all together.
Okay, go ahead with the second one.
Because they're all the same town.
Yes. The third is a porch enclosure and aesthetic improvement located at 2218 Lakeshore Road. The project will have no impact to county property, and therefore a letter of no comment is recommended. The third is a new garage to be reconstructed at 2249 Lakeshore Road. The project will not have impact to county property, and a letter of no comment is recommended.
So we can move all 3 of those ones.
Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
Do I have a mover for all 3? Moved by Mr. Miga, second by Mr. Depot. Questions or comments? Being none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Have other information for us?
Yes, I just wanted to let you know that even though Mike is gone and we're transitioning right now, there are grants coming up that everyone needs to be aware of to prepare. Northern Border for Economic Development is due June 3rd, but we would like to have projects ready by the end of this month if possible, or early May, if you can get, if you have projects in mind. There's also the CFAs to the North Country Council. Those are usually due late June, late July. So if you have parks projects, infrastructure projects in mind, please sit down with us and we can get those ready for you. That's it.
Thank you, Anna. Questions, comments?
Anna, the Northern Border Grant, could you just give a brief synopsis of what that entails?
The Northern Border Grant is toward business development. They like to see job growth. So if you know of big infrastructure projects that have been proposed in your town, this might be the way to go. There's a notice of intent due April 30th, so if you know of a business that could have potential job growth due to a project, it could be up your alley.
Thank you. Further comments or questions? Mr. Gillen.
Hi, Anna. Thank you very much for coming. And I'm not on this committee, but I will say that I think, speak for the board, we have full confidence that you guys are just going to go without a hitch over community resources because you're all extremely talented people and are a great team.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would echo those sentiments. We know you've carried Mikey now for months.
I third that motion.
Mr. Scott.
Absolutely, you do an excellent job. And listen, we all realize how much you have on your plate and also how much we all depend upon you. And you're doing a great job. I'm certain that will continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thanks.
Go back to work.
Quit acting scared.
We'll move to historian next. Aurora. So, where should we start?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everyone? Well, you have my report. I
just want to say a couple of things about it. I did leave the schedule in again this month because we updated a couple of things. So this is the finalized schedule for the season. We added an event here and there. So I broke it down by exhibit, event, lecture, and films. We have the 3 exhibits we are working hard on right now to get ready for opening, which is in 7 weeks. I'm counting down. Also, we have our spring newsletter at the printer. I was hoping to get it to you for today's meeting, but it should be ready in this week. And I'll have it for next month, or I'll put it in your mailboxes. But that breaks down a little more about, in detail what we're doing in the schedule, descriptions of the films, etc. I also left put information on these 2 conferences in. I won't be able to attend the first one, but I will be going to the Association of Public Historians. But if any of your town historians would like information, or anybody, contact us and I can help them get registered. And that's all I have today. That's it. Any questions?
Thank you. I know you have a busy season.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Questions, comments for our historian today? Being none, thank you very much.
Thanks. Yep.
Appreciate that. Next on the agenda, we have cooperative extension. Rick. Good morning. Good morning.
How's everybody?
Thank you.
Excellent. Good reports to give you today. As I stood here last fall saying that I was going to come down here on a shared services agreement with cooperative extension, and again in January that we would be expediting a search for a new agricultural educator to work with our local foods producers, organizations related to that, etc. We were very fortunate. We had 15 applicants, which I think was a fairly decent pool. Out of those 15, we chose 6 for telephone interviews. And out of those 6, the search committee found it down to 4 to come to the county, and out of those 4, 1 declined. So we had 3 individuals that came, each one for a day and an evening, touring the county, stopping at farms, visiting with farms, visiting with other agency and personnel, and getting a feel for the area, and then that evening having a presentation of what they would do when they came here to Essex County. We were quite pleased with the 3 candidates that we had, coming from various states, actually. And we finalized and made an offer. And we are very pleased that that individual, Dr. Carly Summers from Florida, she's a Cornell graduate, a PhD in plant pathology, and she will be joining us, I believe it's on the 24th of this month. So we are really pleased. This is a young professional, energetic, exciting person who will, I think and believe, will work very well with our food producers and around the county. I think it will give a boost to the local foods movement. It will give a boost to both jobs and economic development. So I'm very excited about that. And I look at that as the start to other activities within cooperative extension here in Essex County. When we hire somebody new to come in, we have to do a little cleaning to get an office moved around, and not only are we cleaning, but we're doing spring cleaning like you wouldn't believe. And the DPW, along with some individuals from the county jail, are there today. Our staff has sorted, filed, moved, and whatever, and so we are making quite a lot of headway. And there's also discussions from a new buildings committee from the last meeting that I was here at. So things are moving in a very positive direction in that respect, and I'm very pleased with it. Another item, and I sent out the report, so I won't go over all of it by any means, but another item that was presented to me over the weekend by Soil and Water, Dave Ricken, that the resolution was passed by the Ag and Farmland Protection Board last Thursday night, and Dave has basically taken over the leadership for the Farmland Protection Board, and as a result of the resolution being passed by that board, the public hearing can be scheduled by this Economic Development Committee. I understand that Garrett Daig from Planning has a list of removals in addition for the board to have for reference, and therefore this Board of Supervisors can schedule a public hearing. And I understand Jerry Morrow was at that meeting last Thursday and is ready to move it forward as well. Are there any questions on that or anything else that I may be able to answer for you?
Do you have any questions for the director at this point in time? Congratulations on your search. It sounds like
Very pleased.
very successful in that capacity. Mr. Harris.
I want to comment on the process by which the ag agent was hired. I do believe that our executive director here is a very, very efficient and professional process, and I was really pleased with it.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Further comments or questions? Being none, thank you very much.
Very well, thank you.
Don't mean to cut you short, but we'll give James 6 minutes. It's as fast as he moves since his plane. Good morning, Mr. McKenna. Absolutely.
I don't have much, just want to comment a little bit on the private rental occupancy tax, and now we're into our second year, and we have seen this year the first reports that a lot of those private rentals report annually, and which means they report in March from the previous year. So we saw quite an uptick, so that I think that at this point, Dan, we are on track to hit that budget number this year. So I think that that's good. You know, we were very optimistic the first year, but it takes a while to get it going, but I feel very comfortable we will hit our budget numbers this year, so I'd like to pass that on. Secondly, I know a lot of you were up at the local government day last week, and then the budget came out, and I think, you know, a lot of people on this board and the whole board that Frontier Town Initiative, it's very high profile around the state, and I think it's, you should all be congratulated on the work that was accomplished there, because I think it's a long-term major benefit for our whole entire region. And I know it took a lot of work, and I know we didn't hear about it much. I know you're all working on it, so I just think it certainly makes, from a tourism point of view, it certainly puts us in a very good position for the future. So I just would like to thank you all on that. And then secondly, you know, the micro grant programs for the Upper Hudson Rec Hub were announced also last week, and I think that's another positive thing for our region, because, you know, the first round of those micro-enterprise grants, you know, there were some true successes, and I think we're going to see more of that in this round as well. So I think all those things together really put us in a different position as we're moving forward. And that's also combined in the budget. There was also some increases in the general I Love New York tourism budget and agritourism budget. So I think all those play well for our region. So I just like to say, nice job on that. It really ultimately will make the efforts of what our organization works on for those 5 towns and really the whole region put us in a much better position. So great job on that. And then also, Tom, your town, and I've been talking with a gentleman named Michael Crane, and he's looking at that, you know, he's putting together a lot of numbers and looking at hotel hotel development there, so I think that's another positive that I'd just like to point out, because, town of Mariah really has, well, now it's the town of Mariah, includes the village as the largest amount of public property on Lake Champlain on both sides of the lake. Isn't that correct, Tom? So I think that that's something else that's positive as we look for in the future. So that's all I have.
Very nice. Thank you very much, James. Questions?
I just have one question, Jim. Wayne Taylor talked about a meeting that yourself and he are going to have with a third party regarding the occupancy tax.
Yes.
Do you have any idea how they charge for that?
Well, we don't have all that information yet, and that's really one of the reasons why we're looking at it, for a couple of reasons. It's a software system that can really searches all the rental sites and pulls out not only the names and locations, but, possibly how much rentals they're doing, so we're told. We don't know those prices yet, but there's also interest from some code offices in North Elba, at least, also engaging and looking at it as well, because it sort of helps them figure out what's going on, so we'll see. But next Monday's our meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gilman?
I think that and I think everybody shares this, that the area in and around Frontier Town, the redevelopment down there is one of the biggest things to hit. I mean, it is the biggest thing to hit the southern part of this county in decades. But I ran into the first naysayers this weekend. Why is the government, the state, putting money in to restore a rotted old campground? So, because what they're reading in the press is restoration of Frontier Town, and I think we need to come up with a little bit different tweak in the message there, that it's not Frontier Town.
That's probably right. And it's a whole new thing. I think you're right, Supervisor.
That's a good point, Sean. Mr. McNally?
Yeah, while we're on this topic, I'd like to congratulate Ron Moore in the town of North Hudson and thank Ron for all his work. It was his vision and hard work that actually got this program started and the feasibility of it, and I think it's going to be a great asset to the county of Essex.
Thank you very much. And then yes, Mr.
Just one more comment. That's the first derogatory comment that I've heard, and I think the beauty of this initiative is, from everything that I hear, it's one of these projects where everybody seems to agree. The environmental community, local government, state agencies, everybody seems to be on the page of this is going to be something that moves the area forward. I know that I've had people calling me up in Newcomb, realizing that the potential of this will extend far beyond North Hudson. So I think it's a great thing, and it's the first time I've ever seen everybody getting along. And I think just a little bit of spin on some marketing to clarify what the vision really is will kind of reinforce everybody and getting everybody in the same stable.
Thank you very much. Is there any further comments or questions for Mr. McKenna? Because we're over. Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, James. We appreciate all your work. We will call this committee closed. Anticipation for the special board meeting